I remember the first time I went to therapy. I was around 14 years old, I think. And I remember going in there with my diagnostics. I knew exactly what my problem was, how to get there, whatever condition I was struggling with. I had no idea what to expect when I was going into therapy, but I knew they couldn't help me more than I already helped myself. I knew exactly what was wrong with me. I knew exactly how to change, but somehow there was still something wrong with me and I still hadn't changed. Obviously, not to my surprise, I walked into the room, had a conversation with that therapist and every therapist after then, and they said, well, you're extremely self-aware. I worked extremely hard to be as self-aware as I was. I grew up in a not very great situation, and the understanding of myself and why people act the way they act was my saving grace. Even though someone acted poorly, it gave me a sense of safety because I knew why they acted that way. As you can imagine, it made my life extremely difficult because although I was aware of why I was doing the things I was doing, I didn't know how to stop doing the things I was doing. I didn't know how to change. So I'll be in a situation, and whilst I'm in that situation, I would feel this, even whilst I'm taking the actions and doing the things I know I shouldn't do, I would feel this helplessness because I know the trigger, I know the action, I know the outcome, and I didn't want to do it, but it was like I just couldn't help myself. I couldn't save myself. All the awareness in the world couldn't save me from the experience. It couldn't save me from me. It's been a while since then, and I have been able to utilize my awareness of myself to change my life. I've been able to truly live a life of peace and purpose and compassion for myself and the world. And it is possible. It is possible for you. It is possible for everyone. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'd have a better understanding of how to take your self-awareness and use it to change your life for the better. Hello beautiful souls, my name is Olohi and I hope you align with your purpose. So subscribe because you deserve every single thing that you desire. Now, you've probably asked yourself before, will I ever change? I want you to understand, awareness does not excuse you from the experience. You are a human, sent here to have a human experience. Just because you are aware of what you are doing, that will not prevent you from having the experience. I used to intellectualize every single thing that happened. When I was sad, I'll be like, oh, I'm sad because this happened and then it triggered this response and then this and then now I'm this, so now I'm crying. Instead of just allowing myself to be sad, bro. Instead of just crying and feeling it. I didn't feel any of my emotions. Instead, I tried to understand them. To the point where for a couple, almost 2 years, I had this huge period of derealization and depersonalization. I felt like I wasn't even living my life. Like I was observing someone live my life. Like I wasn't there. Things aren't always sunshines and rainbows. I thought that just because I understood means I could skip the part of feeling bad and just go to a place where I was happy, and life exists in cycles. It's ups and downs. Therapy works for most people because hearing it from a therapist is probably the first time they've thought about it. So hearing what they're doing is an epiphany enough for them that it springs them out of their pattern in order to do something to change. You're self-aware. You know, you've known why you do what you do for the longest time. And that's a thing with a lot of self-aware people that I've found is they think that they don't need therapy. Therapy works for everyone, but it'll work differently for you. For you, you need to start seeing it as a third-party observer because there's some patterns that even you cannot realize. Mine was a cycle of self-sabotage. 1 month or 1 week I would go to her things will be going so well and so amazing. So I'll go to her and I'll say it out loud and it'll be great. And then the next week I'll come back and I'll be like, yeah, everything just fell apart really. I didn't really know what it is. And then she'll give me like some, okay, pick yourself back up. And then it'll be great the next time I see her. And then after that I'm like, yeah, everything just fell apart really. And it wasn't until like the third month or the second when I came in again. And then she was like, things were going great. If you remember the last time we spoke. And then now you're back and things aren't great. And then before that, things were going great. And then they weren't great anymore. Do you notice anything here? From there, it was like so obvious to me. But I had never thought of that because I don't observe myself from any other lens except the human having the experience. The reason you can be self-aware and still not do it is because being aware of only your flaws does not make you self-aware. In order to be truly self-aware, you need to be aware of all the ways that work for yourself to do the things you need to do. Most people who are resonating with this video are people who are stuck in something called functional freeze. I was stuck in there for like 4 good years of my human life. It's not something you can think away. You have two minds. You have your mind, your brain mind, your conscious mind, and you have your body mind. 90%, 95%, goddammit, of everything you do is controlled by your body mind. But you are so focused on your conscious mind, you can never overthrow 95% of subconscious programmings with 5% of effort. Most of the people who are in this space of knowing what they should do but not doing it have a dysregulated nervous system. You need to come to peace with your body mind, aka your subconscious mind, and rewire it in a way where you feel safe enough in your person to do the things you know you need to do. I've spoken about this in how to change your life permanently. I'll link it up in the cards, maybe up in the cards, and then in the description as well. Like, there's no amount of self-awareness in this world that can save you from 90% of subconscious programming. Yes, you're aware of what you're doing as you're doing it, but you're still doing it because that is 95% of who you are. In order to change, you need to step outside of who you've been, who you are, and let yourself be human. Just because you understand what you're going through, just because you understand emotions, doesn't mean you shouldn't let yourself experience those emotions. Because only when you feel it can you let it pass, let it go. Be compassionate to yourself. And if you want to get out of this functional freeze, then you need to have a regulated nervous system. If you want me to make a whole video on that, let me know down in the comments. And thank you so much for showing up for yourself by watching this video all the way to the end. And as always, I am so proud of the person you are and even more proud of the beautiful soul you are becoming. Make sure to leave a thumbs up, and I'm always open for conversations in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.